Oh, okay. Before enrolling in the program, I was in advertising, and I had been in advertising for a few decades. And it really hooked me. It checked a lot of the boxes for me because I got to help businesses be prosperous and expand and people to stay employed. And agencies are such fun environments to work in. It attracts, so, really outgoing and wildly creative people. So very stimulating environments to work in. But I had begun to become discontent that there wasn't enough socially redeeming value in the work that I was doing. And I wanted to be of more direct help. And then boom, I got laid off due to COVID. So I thought, this is my opportunity to make that change, to make that shift that I've been feeling coming on for a while.
Yeah, about this shift, I think most of the clients that come in, they usually feel that coming up, that shift needing to happen for a while, but they postpone it, they keep it aside, they just try
Yeah.
to ignore it as much as possible.
Yeah.
That for you?
Well, and it's too easy to do that when you're relatively happy. I was making very good money, into six figures. I had a nice benefit package. I had vacation. I was at a managerial level, so I had a seat at the boardroom table in terms of the direction of the company. All really, you can sink your teeth into that stuff. And I was training people, and I love, love, love to train and teach and mentor and pour into. Managing and administration, not so much, but the training and the teaching and stuff, I love that. So that's what kept me there for as long as it did. Was there was a lot of things that I was really happy with, but when in your soul something is saying, I'm happy but it's not enough, you have to listen to that.
Was it hard to listen to that? Was it like,
Yes, because I'm not averse to change. You can't work in advertising if you're averse to change, because wait 5 minutes and the whole direction will uproot. But I was just happy, content, recognized, rewarded, fulfilled in a lot of ways. And it's like, okay, well, are you crazy? Why do you want to leave that? Meanwhile, there's this voice in your soul going, I'm not happy. Maybe the rest of you is, but I'm not. We're not doing enough. We have this drive to help people, and this is not enough. So I tried to bargain with myself. And I thought, well, okay, well, I can keep doing this and I can volunteer on the side. Not thinking advertising is 36 hours a day. So now, where is my time to volunteer? And if I do show up to volunteer, I can't stand up. I'm too tired. So I volunteered a little bit. I did some pro bono stuff for various clients, Kids Help Phone and so on and so forth. And I did some other volunteer stuff, but it didn't stop that voice inside that was saying, not enough, not enough. So I felt it would be very foolish of me not to capitalize on getting laid off and not to treat that as an opportunity.
that's so inspiring, because many people go through that stage when they know they're not happy in their job, and sometimes they try to ignore it. The second stage is usually they try to do something about it. So they volunteer for a while, they donate a little bit there, and that thing doesn't stop. They say they still hear, hey, there's something else. There's one little part that you're not doing, which is quite important. Have you tried doing anything about that before joining the program, or was it just hey, I have to stick to this job. It pays the bills. It gives me some sort of reward. Have you tried anything else to find clarity in the process?
I sniffed around, talked to people, Googled some stuff, went to the odd class. Alberta government has some free it has a whole, I don't know if you've ever looked on alice.ca, ALIS, it has quite a comprehensive thing. So I had explored around on there. But what the piece that I was missing was the profiling of the strengths and the interests and the aptitudes and the abilities to sort of match things up. All I knew was that I wanted to offer more direct help. I can't tell you this boiling point of frustration. All the years I was told that my business experience equated to a university education because I don't have any post-secondary. I only have my grade 12. But I've managed to teach myself along the way and read everything and and just be a sponge and it worked. It worked. I had success in my career. As I said, I was at a senior managerial level and all of that, and I've done international work and so much fun. So much fun. Then I get laid off, and all I knew about job hunting was throw a resume, throw a cover letter, pray to God. So then I find out about this great new tool, the applicant tracking system, and the filters that employers put on it that say, oh, no post-secondary, out you go. And I can't even get an interview. Now, I can write a resume that I look good on paper, but to compensate for that lack of post-secondary, I need to get in front of someone. If I talk to them, I can get them to see that I have value to offer. But I can't get an audience because the applicant tracking system has annihilated me. So I took this course, which was what connected me to Career Hero. And this course was very comprehensive in the fundamentals, everything from computer skills to resume writing to cover letter writing and so on and so forth. But it was Career Hero that blew the doors wide open and said, you don't have to be defeated by a lack of post-secondary education. And here in Alberta, we are particularly challenged. Our true unemployment rate in Alberta is something like 25% because we had a downturn of oil in 2015. And a lot of those people have fallen off the government records, but they're still unemployed to this day. So I looked at, I'm not 25 anymore. That makes employers consider me a liability. I have to overcome all the objections, and there's a whole list of them to being a mature worker. I'm in a market with 25% unemployment, and I don't have any post-secondary education. So I was trying to get happy about being a barista, and that wasn't working. And then along comes Career Hero and says, did you know about seed jobs? Did you know about purpose hacking? Did you know maybe don't send an email, do an Insta or a LinkedIn or, and then also gave you like the actual templates of the emails and like the scripts of what to say when you connect. And all of a sudden I had tools, I had strategies. I could make a way where there seemed to be no way. So Career Hero is mind-blowingly transformative to me. And so now I have landed a job. It is a job that is of direct help, but it's temporary only till October. But now I have these tools, and the tools that Career Heroes provided, I can use inside the organization to advance, as well as if I wanted to go outside of it. I've identified my work purpose, which gives me so much inner peace that I'm not flailing about, that I'm targeted and directed, and I know when I land, I will land happy and fulfilled. Transformative, absolutely transformative.
Amazing. And not many people realize that there's so many tools out there to help them because this is not taught in school.
No, this is not taught anywhere, Silvio. Like this is the gold standard. This is the keys to the kingdom.
Was there anything else that you didn't expect in a program like this? So usually when they come to a program like this, they usually think about CVs and cover letters.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And it's so funny. My friends, I mean, in Calgary, you can't swing a dead cat and not hit 10 unemployed people. So I've got lots of friends that haven't, chosen to avail themselves of tools such as yours. And they think they're just going to send a resume. And I'm like, oh no, no, it's not going to work. But yeah, when you ask about the program and other things, that were transformative, like the Essence thing, the bus thing where you have the tickets, and at first I thought, well, what has this got to do with what we're career planning? What is this? What, we're riding a bus, tickets, huh? But it gets you in touch with who you are and what your values are. And if you don't know that, how can you carve a path forward? So I can contrast now from where I sit today and the journey that Career Hero put me on. I can contrast myself with my friends who know none of this. And I really fear for, short of a lucky bounce, how they're going to succeed because they're not equipped. Their eyes aren't opened. They don't have the tools. They don't have the strategies. Like Career Hero gives you like tools and strategy, but it gives you workarounds. Like purpose hacking is a brilliant workaround.
Yeah. Usually when we get clients in, they usually say, "Hey, I need a job, and I need a job right now." And I hope there is a pill. Steve and I were speaking about this. I hope there is a pill in which that we could give to people and have everything, purpose and clarity, and they know who they are. But I think without doing the work up front, it's a lot harder to fall back into the old style of looking at work and career. Just give me a job, and then that job finishes, and then you don't know what to do, and then you have another job and another, and then you get laid off again, and then you come back to the unemployment agency and say, hey, I need a job again. The idea isn't necessarily to get people a job, but to teach people how to fish, so they never have to
Right.
do this again, and to need help again, to be self-sufficient.
Right. Yeah, like maybe I was lucky that I had this voice inside me that wouldn't shut up. And then I meet Career Hero, and Career Hero says, hello, voice. What's your essence? Hello, voice. You're on the bus with the tickets. Now what do you do? And something in me locked onto that and said, this is how I satisfy this voice. Because this is the bigger, more meaningful part of me. And not only is it not going to go away, it's going to grow. It's been growing. It's going to grow. I need tools and systems and a way to answer what it's asking me to do.
Did you fear anything in the program? Like, was there a moment when you said, I don't think I'm going to continue, or I don't want to do this? Was there anything that you're like,
Yeah, pretty much all of it. Because again, I came from the mindset of throw a resume. No, I mean, you write as best resume you can. You throw a cover letter, you write the best cover letter you can. I'm a decent writer. I thought, well, there we go. Oh, I think pretty much every module of Career Hero sort of set me back and made me shake my head and think, what is this? What does this do? What does this tell me? But I just knew that if I stuck with it, I would be rewarded, with this knowledge, with this wisdom, with these ways to make my way forward. And you have your personhood restored when you know how to go forward instead of being stuck in a rut. I had a brief period of unemployment in 2016, 17. And I went to a Canadian federal government job search boot camp at SAIT, which is our technical college. Big room, 600 people, tables of 10. In the lobby, Canadian Mental Health Association has these huge banquet tables plastered with pamphlets, and Canadian mental health staff everywhere, and a Canadian mental health staffer at each of these tables of 10. So at one point in the afternoon, there was only myself and the guy from Canadian Mental Health Association at the table. So I said, "Psst, what you doing here? What, you're like, this is quite a show of force, you know?" And he said, Silvio, he said, we're having a lot of suicides. This is what unemployment does to people. It destroys their identity. It takes away their independence. And then not only that, but then society draws back from them as if there's a stink on them and as if they're undesirable. When in fact, is it their fault that the oil industry collapsed? Because that was the big thing going on in 2016, 17 in Calgary, was the bottom had fallen out of the oil industry, you know? And it broke my heart because I was feeling to a small degree, you know, a bit stigmatized, but trying to ignore it and soldier on. And then I saw these guys. So I just share that with you to share with you how very, very vital your work is. And your work, like no other program, has the tools that overcome that soul crushing, identity annihilating layer of crap that comes with being unemployed. I mean, I've had a job since I was 10. My independence gives me great joy. Not only have I carried myself through my life, I've carried other people. I'm so happy and blessed and privileged to have, you know, been given, you know, whatever inner qualities that is that's allowed me to do that. And then to have it ripped away by external forces that are out of your control just negates your existence on the planet almost. And like you say, I believe everyone goes through it and no one wants to say this is what's happening. Yeah. So that's another reason that the monthly coaching calls are good, is that you get connected with people who are in the same boat. And not that you want people to be in the same boat, but it is affirming that, look, these are all intelligent, capable, accomplished, likable, employable people. You know, that's very affirmative in itself.
And it's got something to do with that. And the fact that people are lonely when you go through this process, you can't open up to everyone about the fact that, like, God, things are not going great and I'm not feeling good today. Mm-hmm. Because people have families and sometimes you need to take care of the kids or family bills, you kind of tend to save them from that pain and keep it within. Mm-hmm. And it's not healthy either. And if you're not opening up to a group of people who are probably going through the same stuff. Yeah.
And I was, I'm an ambivert. I'm not an introvert. I'm not an extrovert. I'm an ambivert. And so, you know, I thought that I was fine till the pandemic took away the ability to connect. And then I realized how important these connections are. So these Zoom calls are very deeply satisfying on that level. I truly believed on a stack of Bibles that I was going to have to carry on in advertising and satisfy my soul with volunteer work. And when Career Hero comes along and says, no, you don't. No, you don't. Here's a plan of progression. You can get a seed job. And then, you know, all those levels of like manager and, you know, until you get to like running your own business and so on and so forth. And it was like, oh, it was like someone threw a rope to me in the quicksand and said, here, you can come out of this quicksand. Here, this is how, here. So I almost feel a bit ashamed that I thought that I was just stuck forever. But man, oh man, it was like this Career Hero said, here's the road paved with gold, walk on it.
Oh, that just brings a smile to my face, because that's exactly, I wish everyone in the world knew this, that you don't have to be stuck in the same job, and you can design a path forward that has everything. It might take a while, but you don't have to continue on this path. And it's just smart from any perspective to work on purpose and deliver a contribution. It's just a win-win for everybody. So what specific results can you share? So you've been in the program, now you got You got a job, a seed job, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
What other results can you share?
Well, I've got this seed job, but I landed. It isn't just it isn't just a survival job. I landed in a helping profession. I'm in the healthcare system directly helping people. And Career Hero helped me write the cover letter and resume that made that happen because I have no background in healthcare. I have no experience in healthcare. I have no healthcare education. But you do a lot of teaching about how the hiring people think. So I can say, oh, I can do this and this and this and this. The hiring manager doesn't care. You tell us how the hiring manager thinks, and then we write for that. So it obviously hit home because I got hired. It worked. So it's not just a survival job. It's a job where I am like directly helping. We're in the middle of a pandemic. I'm in the trenches in the healthcare system fighting away. It's fantastic. Now, this healthcare system in Alberta is in excess of 130,000 employees. There are millions of jobs. So there is also an entire bank of required online learning courses. To date, I've taken 49 of them. I'm trying to show them I'm working at home. How can I make a good impression on people who never see me? Well, here's a place that they can. So it checks that box, but it also satisfies. I need to always be learning, which was why advertising worked for me, right? I need to always be learning. So I'm taking these courses and they're very diverse. I'm taking every course that I can. How blessed and wonderful it is that I have an employer that offers all this free education. So what I do is I comb their job boards and say, okay, well, I like that. I'd like to do that. What course do I need that will help pre-qualify me for that? So I've got all that going. Then I'm interested in bringing more of my faith to work. I believe that people are spirit, mind, body, soul. And especially when it comes to healing, if the spirit isn't involved, how does the body come? Like we've all heard of people who've received a cancer diagnosis. And there are some whose spirits just rise up and go, nah, not getting me, not doing it. And they live 20, 30, 40. I have a girlfriend who was diagnosed in 1988. She's fine today. Because her spirit said, no, you're not getting me. Her body didn't do that. I watched her body and what was happening to her body. That's gross. I'm not going to say it here. It's the spirit, right? So this employer has faith-based positions and sponsorship of faith-based training. So there's that track. The other track is I referenced a previous career course that gave some fundamentals that I took. And shortly after meeting them, when I interviewed to see whether I was even accepted into the course, they said, we want you to work with us. That opened my mind to, if I was career coaching, again, I could be direct help because having encountered the Canadian Mental Health Association at that job search boot camp, if I can come alongside a person who's unemployed and say, I understand what you're going through, I just really like the idea of being able to plug in at that career coaching level, grab that person, throw them a lifeline, and help them up. Pick them up, dust them off, help them up, and equip them, that kind of thing. So I'm still exploring that. And in the meantime, praise God, I have the seed job.
Wow. So you got a job that allows you to learn.
Yeah.
Get to explore other things and helps a lot of people and pays the bill. It is a true seed job in the truest.
Yeah, it's not just a survival job, because there was a dark moment where I was on the phone with the bank going, so you want me to go to the corner and make $12 an hour? I still won't be able to pay you with this $12 an hour that I'm making. The bank does not care. So we need to step out of that quicksand and onto solid ground.
Wow. Yeah, my other question was what this looks like now that you started this process, but it seems like you're already on your way. Um, how does it feel now after you've gone through all of that stuff and having a plan and knowing that there's so many avenues you can learn about and go towards?
It's so exciting. It's so validating. It's so there's a forward momentum to it. Like I almost feel pulled forward because I can't wait for an opportunity to purpose hack somebody's butt at my employer now. Because I don't think anybody does that. In the interview for this job, I asked a question, and I forget what the question was. I'm sorry, but it was a question Career Hero taught me to ask. And it was a phone interview, but you could tell the person was rocked. And she paused, and you could hear the smile come on her face. And she said, nobody has ever asked me that. And I knew I made a lasting impression with that one little step.
Oh man, you can actually hear someone's voice through the phone, and that's true.
You can. So
I'm so
Silvio,
happy.
think about it. I went from a mature worker that nobody wants in a 25% unemployment market with no post-secondary education in the middle of a pandemic to the job I'm in now.
Yeah. Wow. This just brings a smile not only on my face but in my heart.
I don't care about the battle. I'll fight the fight. I'll get in the fight, but I need to know I've got the ammunition to fight. And that's what Career Hero gave me. It made me not helpless anymore. You can't be an independent adult and feel helpless. It destroys your mental health.
Yeah, and if you were to summarize this in one word, this entire journey that Career Hero helped you on, what would that word be if you were to summarize this in one word?
Well, they always say to go with your first thing, so I want to say transformative, but that just doesn't cover it. I would need to use many, many words.
Amazing. Okay, and what do you have to say to those who are thinking to begin this journey, to invest in themselves, or they're in module 0, or they're thinking they've been told that this is a good way to go forward? What do you tell them? What do you tell those people?
You don't know what you don't know. And if you aren't good to you, who will be? This is the keys to the kingdom. This is the ticket. This is the tools. This is the equipping. This is the strategy. This is the battle prep that you need, that's going to take you out of the ditch and back up on the road.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Cheryl. This was amazing, and I can feel this in my soul now. I'm a little bit, I don't know, refreshed, rejuvenated. I'm like, oof. I cannot wait to get back to work now. Just hearing you, honestly, this is amazing. Is there anything else that you'd like to add? Anything that I haven't covered?
I've listened to people sort of get comfortable with being in that ditch, being in that rut. I've seen people shrug, oh, well, what can I do? Don't stay there. It's only more misery. Avail yourself of what is offered here, and it will change your life.
That's amazing. Awesome. I think that's a good summary, and it closes it's a good end to our interview. Thank you so much for this.
You're welcome. My pleasure.